is, you guys. It's video time, and you still have got the best podcast in the A15. This is Beyond the Cube. I literally cannot believe that it's been 2 months since I've said that, but if you go back and look at the archives, it's legit been 2 months. As you guys know, I'm Bob, and if you guys are on right now, you guys are actually seeing this. I'm so sorry about that. And also, as you guys know, who's always with me in the podcast? You guys know it's Vince. Vince, dude, it's been 2 months since we podcast, but it literally hasn't been 2 months since we talked. What you been up to though, man?
Man, we've been up to so much. I can't even begin. Where we had, honestly, it's like, where do we start? I know we had notes for the or for this show
Right.
from 2 months ago,
That's
and
right.
I know when we look back, it was like everything was like, I don't remember what this was about. I don't remember what this was about. Like,
Absolutely.
there was a few things in there that now that we're gonna have to go ahead and revisit, because I remember one for sure, and I don't think I moved that over to the new one, but I'm going to talk about it. Um, since this hiatus, we have got a new toaster. I don't know if I've actually talked about the cat that we have at the house, but we did adopt a cat, Flash, who's I think still under a year by
Shout
a
out to
little bit.
Flash.
Yeah. Well, no, not really, because um, so we had ordered food from one of the breakfast places out here, like one of like the family table or something like that, and when we got it, they of course gave us like toast with the different jams. Like, they didn't ask us like what kind of jam they wanted. It's like was just like just put a variety in there. So it's like, that's awesome. I was like, I'm gonna totally use two of them today and then save like two of them for later on. So what I did is, the toaster is right next to the microwave. So I put the two jam things right on the microwave, thinking, oh, they'll be safe here. Well, then my wife had gone a couple days later and made toast. Well, and she put the bread in, like, went to toast it, like, walked away, and then the whole house just started smelling like burning. And it's like what did that? It's like was it toasted there for too long or whatever, but it looked good. Then finally my wife had to go back and check the toaster, and sure enough, there were two burned jelly packets, which the cat hadn't walked on the microwave, or like just batted them off the microwave into the toaster slot. So then when my wife went to go make toast, it just stunk up the whole house, just like burning, and it was just the burning plastic with that. So we had the fans on, windows open, everything like that, and we did end up getting a new toaster. So that's one new device that I've got. I've also got a new computer, thanks to, I don't know, I guess the government, really, the stimulus. Um, that was probably the biggest purchase. As you can kind of see behind me, my Funkoverse collection is completed, at least with what they have right now. Put the Tohu Golden Girls like right behind me here. Um, Man, but other than that, yeah, just playing with Twitch now, which I'm loving, and man, been kind of going back to gaming and teaching my son a lot of the gaming stuff too. How about you, Bob? What would you like to share?
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, it's been 2 months. A lot has happened. A lot has happened, and I cannot. Um, the biggest thing that has happened in the past 2 months, you know, is looking back at the podcast, I feel like I really wish I would have listened to some before I started this, because when I think about it, I kind of think about maybe when I'm talking and when I'm podcasting, it's seriously legit, like what's going on around me, who's around me, and stuff like that. I haven't really divulged and given a whole lot about family life and stuff outside. I mean, everybody hears me talking about Leah, talking about Lane and Maddie.
Hmm.
You know, family's pretty big, and on June 23rd, literally a month from today, um, we've got we received the worst news that any parent could receive. And honestly, I was thinking about this the other day, and it was a Tuesday morning. I happened to be off of work. Um, I think you were off as well too. But it was just happened to be one of those things. Me and Vince always have like this thing where like before 8 o'clock, on the weekdays, we usually shoot each other messages even before we're working and stuff. And we were actually on the phone, and like I said, we got the worst news that any parent could receive, that our oldest daughter Reagan, was was found, you know, in her house. On she was her body was found. She was dead. And I, I I I go back to think about it, and you know, me and you were talking on the phone
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when Leah got that phone call, and I could tell immediately that the news was not good. And our family has been going through this, going through this hole that realistically probably can never be filled again. It's learning how to cope, learning how to be there for one another, knowing that there's going to be bad days, and being thankful for when we have good days.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I knew that I wanted to talk about this briefly, because it's what my life has been, um, you know, since then.
Yeah.
And the amount I also really wish that I could go and name everybody that has been so supportive, just from me, and knowing, what my wife Leah is going through, man. Like, I mean, she's been pretty honest about and very open about things,
Mm-hmm.
on social media. So if you are friends with me on Facebook, you really probably ought to be friends with my wife as well too. um you know, maybe some of this detailed stuff I'll save for another podcast.
Yeah.
But realistically, though, it's been hard, man. I mean, it's been a month.
Mm-hmm.
It was unexpected, 100% unexpected, because that Sunday was Father's Day, and I talked to Reagan. We talked for a long time, and we had an amazing conversation. Um, and and Vince was the one person that I confided in, because we yeah, I mean, we did all of it.
Mm-hmm.
We went back to Arkansas, which I think I probably am recorded on the podcast saying that I was never going to go back to Arkansas.
Yeah. I believe so.
And outside the main reason why we were there, truthfully, the visit was, seen a lot of. That was the weird thing, though. And like I said, I think maybe I may save, a lot of the details and stuff for another podcast. Um, but I guess really what I ultimately really want to say to you about this is that, um, before this, I've had people reach out and talk to me about very personal things. And those people that have reached out to me because of this, I've been reaching out to them to making sure that they're okay. I really, it's not cliche, but you just never know what anybody is going through.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, realistically. And if you are ever in a position where you truly feel like people in the world is better off without you, I can guarantee you, I can 100% guarantee you that that's not the case. And my wife has been kind of almost an advocate for suicide, awareness, and just really kind of offering to be there for anybody. Some of the stories that we have received just from this, of people that she has helped and has, spoke with were people she don't even know. And it wasn't even people that was in, the 815 or within a particular area. I mean, it's been, you know, I've used the word overwhelming a lot
Mm-hmm.
during this whole process. Um, I I I'm with my wife every day, and just seeing what she goes through is just, she's a broken person. Um, but circling back to it, though, you know, going forward, suicide awareness is going to be a very important thing in my life going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I said, Reagan, she never knew how much. I mean, it's one of those things as a parent. You always tell your kids, I love you." We're hoping things are good. We're hoping things are great.
Mm.
And it's just, I, I feel like she didn't know how much she was loved, and maybe she didn't love herself as much as we all loved her. And it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
but um, like I said, we're doing what we can.
Yeah.
Personally, myself, like I said, be outside of being there for my wife and for all the kids, just throwing myself into work. Honestly,
Yeah.
is really what it's come to. And looking back at the last 2 months, there's been a lot of stuff that we didn't haven't really had a chance really to talk about. Um, for one, did anything really happen? Did anything really go on in the last 2 months? Like, did the world still go around while we were not podcasting? Because there's been so much that's really kind of happened. Along with everything. Today is opening day.
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
really weird for me is that I am a crazy Cubs fan. You know this. I mean, I'm diehard Cubs, and with the new cable network, the Marquee Network, it makes kind of following the Cubs a little bit harder because in the area where we live at, I mean, we are considered in like the Chicago Cubs viewing area, and you know, like when MLB TV came out, I bought that or I got that service, about 4 years ago, and I was so frustrated because I never could watch any Cubs games, ever because we were still within the viewing area, so they blacked them out. I was like,
Hmm.
well, what's the point of this then?
Yeah.
Um, Now Cubs have got a new cable network, which that means like with some of these practices and some of the things that we typically would get access to and we would watch, we haven't seen anything, and so following the Cubs this year has been very weird and very just different. 2020, first of all, going back to everything, 2020 just completely blows. 2020 sucks so bad,
Yeah.
so bad,
And
and
and we thought 2019 was bad too. Like, like I remember covering this, being like, man, it's like 2019. It's like, how is it such a bad year? It's like 2020 is gonna be the one to turn it around. It's like it's going to happen, and no, it's not.
nope.
Like honestly, I mean, like a lot of it has. It's crazy because it's like for 2019, we had about a show a week. You know, like we were on a great streak. It's like everything was good. Things weren't changing daily. You know, like
Right.
every day something is happening now. You know, and I mean, what like even now, like some of the big news. I don't know. See, I don't even know because what yesterday I think it was the even in Chicago there was talk of what do you call it of the Marquee Network not being through Comcast. You know,
Yes.
that was yesterday. I have no idea where the news is today. You know, which I mean they could have made a deal. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens just like, and I mean in the world around us too. You know, like and I mean as you've seen personally, you know, there's so many things that it's just yeah. I mean, you definitely 2019 at least gave us breaks where we could kind of just sit back and be like, you know what? It's like Game of Thrones ended awfully. Let's talk about this. And just within the past, like you said, like couple of months, we haven't even had that chance to kind of just like sit down and just be like, okay, what's going on? You know, um, but man, and I do definitely vouch for following Leah on Facebook. She is one of the most awesome people to follow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I know you laugh because you're like, great, just feeding the ego. You know, it's
Right.
like I know it. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she kind of storms in just to like be like, "Yep, told you." But
Yeah.
also I am happy that she is kind of, and again, it's like so. As you know, I am kind of spiritual. You know, it's like there's a lot of things I do believe in, and um, and it's kind of funny that before the show we had talked about Hamilton a little. I honestly didn't know how much of a link that was, like, like, to her. So, like, because, and I, like I said before, I was like, I know you've recommended Hamilton, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to it, because I mean, and like we said, everything else was such a smashing hit with me. I mean, I want to no, but we no. So after we talked about that, like after I learned about all of this, like how much like that was actually like a part of her life and everything, I was like, you know what? I was like, now I feel like I owe it to watch it and to give it an actual chance.
Well, in
Like,
all fairness, also too, I sort of feel like anything that I've ever I've offered you Project Runway,
mm-hmm.
which I believe that lasted 2 or 3 episodes,
Yeah,
only
that's
because
three.
Our horses went out early in the
Yeah.
race. Basically, is what I'm chalking that up
Yep.
to. We also offered up American Horror Story,
Yeah.
which I will tell you that mad props. Shout out to Vincent for sticking through American Horror Story 84 as long as he could,
Yep.
because once again, we fixed everything. We were like, well, really, what it was is just like it was just this story, and then they were like, oh man, that's only 3 episodes. We got to fill it up with all this other 5, 6 episode BS, man. That
Yep.
was such garbage, though. So I feel like anything I have told you to watch has been straight up garbage. I have been pushing Vince to watch Hamilton because I know some of the other shows and some of the movies and stuff that he likes. So, seriously though, like we have watched Hamilton about, I think this is maybe the 5th or 6th time in the past week.
Yeah.
And I was telling Vince that Leah wanted to watch it one night, and so I was like, okay, cool. Don't have nothing else going on. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And Hamilton, within the first 2 minutes, completely had me. I was not expecting, and that's the thing too. Like I feel like I think Hamilton has been out since 2016, I
Mm-hmm.
believe, and with it being out for 4 years, I would have thought that okay, if it was really banging, I would hear a song or two. If it was really popping,
Yeah.
I feel like I would have heard something. And so we turned it on, and it was it's kind of what I was expecting, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I was like, wow, this is really happening.
Yep.
and it's just the music, the dancing, the production. Because if you have Disney Plus,
Mm-hmm.
you can check it out there. It's on Disney Plus right now. So if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and go watch it, man. Because not only is just everything great in it, um, and for people that are kind of like our generation, I sort of feel like
Yeah.
I feel like musicals have a very bad stigma about them, that like, oh, they're old timey, they're old fashioned, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton is not that whatsoever at all. I mean, I'm talking about Hamilton, and it came out 4 years ago, and I'm like trying to sell it to everybody. I don't feel like I have to sell this. Like, just watch it and you'll like it. I'm telling you.
Yep. No, and I'm definitely gonna give it a fighting chance. We're gonna give it a go and see how it is really. But otherwise, that's actually gonna be the first thing that I really devote myself to, like TV wise. I think also, like since really in the past couple months, because I haven't watched. Man, I haven't really watched much at all. It's like I said, like I've been kind of doing the video gaming and Twitch, and for video game recommendations, I can give a little on that. I know that you and me had done some Dead by Daylight,
We tried it. Yeah.
and I mean we had fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was definitely one of the, like, my brother had actually recommended that, and him and his friends still do play, and the level that they play at, I'm like, I don't know if I have the time or devotion to actually pour into the game to get that good, you know? Like, although I say that, even though I've poured like probably like 80 some hours into Rocket League and like actually got to a decent, like, I felt for 80 hours in, I was in a pretty good spot, you know? But I mean, there was still so many more ranks and so much more I could have learned, you know? but then kind of started on okay, it's like, well, how about trying, like, did some nostalgia stuff with Dungeon Defenders. Now I actually turned off the blood setting on Torchlight 2 because I might try to get my son to play that one a little. um, but but so when I was talking about nostalgia, even Micah has been going through this a little, because we used to have a Wii U, and one of the games that he played the most on there was Skylanders Imaginators. And so I was like, okay, cool. That was like, they have it on the Nintendo Switch, you know. Well, then it's like, of course, we get the Nintendo Switch, everything happens, and now Skylanders Imaginators becomes like a collector's item, and it jumps from like $20, like new or used, up to, like, I think at one point it was like 160. And I'm like, that's absurd. I'm like, there's no way we're picking this up. And so when we did, or I actually did recently, Micah decided to split it, you know. And when we did, I still, for $100, I was like, I can't even. I don't even know how. I don't even know how that happened. And welcome, Swanee, to the podcast. Yeah, shoot away, man. Let us know the question. But no, so I picked that up, and that's just it was just absurd to me. I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna ever pick up something like this, like a collector's item. And here I am. I also have lights on my computer, so I'm one of those people too. So, um, but otherwise, how was your experience with Dead by Daylight? Oh, you're muted.
Still getting used to the new setup.
There you go.
Hey, yeah, so Dead by Daylight. Had a great time with it. It's one of those things where I feel like I should be good at games. You know, I used to play games, like, you know, I mean, I'm on Twitch, and I'm saying, like, I used to play games and whatever, but, like, you know, I felt that I should have been better at it. I'm not used to the whole controls by keyboard, because I haven't done that since '99 when I used to play Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
But no, the whole concept of it is pretty sweet, honestly, and I wish. I mean, I feel like I want to continue to play on it, but at the same time, like, I just feel like I don't know if I have the time to really get good at it, like how I would want to be.
Yeah.
I do. I am totally interested in the Steam, like, you know, platform and stuff, and so I also, well, and here's the other thing too about Dead by Daylight. So I was playing on my laptop, which I found out was straight garbage.
Yeah.
To play any sort of streaming games on. So that kind of sort of ruined. I don't want to say ruined, but it just the fun factor just wasn't really there. I was just lagging, and just like I was here, and then all of a sudden I was moving here, and then I couldn't run past certain things because I was trying to be a survivor, and I was running from, you know, the serial killers. So I mean, I like the concept of it. I like the idea of it. I just didn't execute it at all. Yeah. So yeah, I would be interested in playing, continuing it though, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, when you do get the new setup, you know, I mean, that is a total option. And I mean, like I said, man, like, even what was it? Dead by Daylight. I know I found a site to kind of hook you up with that, you know. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna buy 2 keys, one for me, one for Bob, just send it over to him. And then I also bought, or no, I didn't buy it, but I saw that Rocket League is also going free to play soon. So, man, I know you were talking about how Lane was getting into that, and
Right.
and I mean, I guess he kind of got in at the right time, because now with that being free to play, they're actually giving updates to or like giving like a bunch of items and everything to people who have actually bought it. So I think that's gonna be kind of cool, you know. I'm looking forward to being able to play on PC instead of just on the Switch. Like, that was, I think, my main like hang up about it was it's like, but I mean it was cool because we could do like local multiplayer on there also, like me and Micah. But he has since moved on to only PC games also, like or Lego Marvel. We've been doing that one too. Um, he's actually showed his babysitter like so. Uh, Meredith has kind of been going in and out to work, just on a need basis. Of course, keeping the hours low. But so she's been going to work. Well, then I'll have Micah with me, but then we've been bringing the babysitter, and it's like just paying her to come and hang out with him. And he's literally been on the computer showing her. It's like, oh, this is how you play this game, and this is how you play this game, and then this is. I think I'm gonna have to set up a Minecraft server also, like for everyone, because his babysitter is like, oh yeah, I've used to play Minecraft, and so he was all about creating this world with her and like doing all this stuff in there, So I'm like, dude, I'm like, if that's the case, I was like, I could just set it up as a set my computer up as a server for it, so that way you can go ahead and just sit and play, and then one of his cousins can also connect in, and it's like I can connect in too. But no, so I mean, it's kind of exciting to see him kind of go through this, like these like beginning stages that I was at too. So, how about you? It sounds like Lane has been going through that, and I know, was it Maddie used to play Fortnite? She's still on
Well,
that, or
okay, so no, no, she's oh, actually, now that I think about it, so the big thing that they've both been into actually has been the Switch. So when we took the trip to, when we went down
mm-hmm.
to Arkansas, the Knutsons, shout out to the Knutsons,
Yep.
they hooked it up with the Switch, and for the trip down, and just like, we were going through it, we're still going through it, but Lane has he has found an absolute love and is attempting to 100% Pokemon on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I think within probably 4 or 5 days he played probably about like 24 hours ish or so.
Oh, geez,
And
yeah.
yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
he was seriously, like, once he started, like, he was completely about it. Like, so I feel like that's totally revitalized the whole Pokemon thing. I know he was at once talking about picking Pokemon Go back up as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's been totally all about that. Um, and also, so Maddie has she's been playing Mario Party. She's been playing Mario Kart.
Nice.
But Maddie was really big into Minecraft as well too for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She still kind of has it on her iPad, and she'll pick it up every now and then. We have some friends that have kids that are a little bit younger, that are in like second grade or so, and so when she babysits them, she's playing Minecraft with them and stuff, and it was pretty cool, man. It was definitely, it's something for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but dude, so I so entirely different segue.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry.
um, so so one of the things that we've kind of sort of been following and watching is just, unfortunately, like, social media has just been garbage. So a couple of months ago, we when we were podcasting, I mean, we're talking about Corona. We're talking about, like,
Mm-hmm.
you hate to see anybody trending on Twitter because either they did something completely racist or they were dead.
Yeah. True.
I'm kind of at the point now with Facebook where I'm just like, I I I despise Facebook quite. I mean, just everything that I see on Facebook is just terrible, and just like, I can't, like, I really sort of can't.
Yeah.
Um, I
I mean, except for Leah's posts and for the Beyond the Cube updates.
Absolutely, that's right. That's
Just
right.
go ahead and
Shout out to
follow those.
Leah.
No, I'm just
Yeah. But man, like, I mean, just hearing all the Wayfair stuff, and like all of that, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole either.
Mhm.
But we have some friends that are like serious conspiracy theorists,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the things that they talk about, like how this goes and how that goes, and who was involved with this. And I just seen today actually that a judge had ruled that they're going to. Did you see that they're going to supposedly release what's her name's old GMAX, her documents on who all traveled to these islands with Epstein and stuff?
Oh, I did not see that. No, no.
It's a,
Um.
supposedly I seen that. I seen
Mhm.
that. And here's the other thing too. And this Beyond the Cube has never been any sort of political sort of anything or whatever. I think Vince, you know this. I don't really necessarily like talking about politics because I don't feel like I know enough politics to really have a good grasp on something,
Yeah.
or have a really good understanding. But I do know that like our president is a freaking idiot, man. Like I so today, the other thing that I've seen about it that is semi sports related is that he brought somebody to talk about about Corona, I guess, and you
Hmm.
would have assumed that he would have brought some sort of like disease like expert,
Yeah.
but instead he brought Mariano Rivera, which Mariano Rivera is probably the greatest closer in baseball.
Yeah.
He was a Yankee. I mean, he's I don't think I think maybe he was. I feel like he might have blown one save. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, brought a pitcher from that's been retired from the New York Yankees and is like, hey, you're gonna talk and say you're gonna give the COVID information. Like why? Like why? Why are you bringing Mariano Rivera in to tell people what we've already known for a long time? Like you know, we have countries that won't let us go to them
Yeah.
because they're like, you're Americans. Like you guys are filthy. You guys are nasty. You guys have Corona. You guys have COVID. Speaking of COVID, I have some hot goss in the
Oh.
815 about some COVID. Um, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the place where me and Vince work at, there may have been an email that was sent out,
Hmm.
you know, saying, hey, be on high alert. You know, these are the symptoms you probably should look for. And there was like
Yeah.
four new highlighted ones that were on there.
Yeah. True.
The, the next day, today actually,
Hmm.
we get the email that says we've had somebody in the office that was confirmed positive,
Yep.
and you know, for as big a size as Halo is, as the mother company is, for some of the other bigger companies in the 815,
Yeah.
um, you know, and my wife actually works for one, so
Hmm.
I'm very well versed with what their policies are and what they're going through and stuff, and how they're handling things. I mean, I would say that everything has been handled great and good, um, you know. Um, but man, that Rona,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that Rona, man. I just
Well, I
2020
mean,
just sucks so bad.
well, so we've definitely, man. Okay, what was the day that it was? What the last day in the office was like March
March
13th or something like
16th,
that.
I think.
16th.
Well,
Okay.
13th, 16th, yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, like I have not set foot in the office since that day.
Right.
And I
Well,
mean, like actually behind me is my home office. That's exactly where I've been. There you go. Yeah. See. Yeah.
I'm nice enough to have the refrigerator right there, so I
Ooh,
don't have to go very far.
that's dangerous. That is
Yeah,
dangerous. You know
it's
what? Okay, we did not put this on the notes, right? But
Right.
the what do you call it? So the diet that we're on right now, it's no sugar, no sugar, no wheat, no flour, and then I mean like potatoes, like really it's only like fresh potatoes, like stuff that you cut up yourself, that you make yourself, or the brands that are like pretty like fresh and everything. Um, and then as for the sugar thing, I mean, of course you're still gonna get that from fruit, and like other various like like healthy foods, but it's like no added sugar stuff. And since starting it on, was it July 5th? Because I remember, because July 4th, it's like we're not starting a diet on July 4th. It's like
Good point.
we'll go ahead and just eat whatever on the 4th. That way on the 5th, it's like, okay, now we're ready. Dude, it's hard. I cannot stress how like difficult this has been. But thinking about that so far, in the 2 weeks that we've done it, like I've weighed in, of course on the 6th or 5th, and then weighed in the following Monday. I was down, I think it was 8 pounds, and then down this Monday I was down a total of 10 pounds. So I mean it's still working, it's still good, and that's just with just diet. Not doing like exercises yet. That's the thing that's gonna happen. But again, it's like, when do you find the time between like podcasts, Twitch streaming, writing, the day job, the family, all that stuff. So I feel like it's going to kind of start after this weekend, because this weekend's busy. We do have a garage sale, and it's kind of funny because we've been planning this for a while, and then in addition to it, we had advertised on Monday that this was happening, and it's like, what, like 3 or 4 of our families, or like 4 families that are doing it. Well, today we saw, or my wife had seen a post on Facebook saying that there was a 12 family garage sale going on down the block, literally 3 blocks down. So I was like, my first thought was, wow, it's like, that's kind of bad timing. But then really thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that's actually really great timing for both of ours, because again, like, I don't think of, like, I was thinking of it as a competition when really it's not, because I mean, being an author, it's like, especially at author fairs and everything, when I would go to those, I didn't think about it as me competing against other authors, like to try and sell our book. I thought it as, it's like, someone's gonna be here, and if someone's here for me to see my book and pick it up, they might be exposed to other authors that are like in the area. And then same on the flip side of that coin, where it's like, if someone comes and is here for one of these other authors, they might actually come and check out my book. We'll be like, hey, it's like, I like the cover, what's this about?
There you go.
So I'm kind of taking that same idea here with the garage sales, where it's like, I will actively turn traffic to there after someone's done here. I'll be like, hey, it's like, if you're garage sailing today, it's like, you just head straight down the block and you're gonna see another massive one.
Yes.
And
yes.
I know my wife had actually posted on their Facebook post saying, oh yeah, it's like, when you're done, come down the block for this.
Yes.
So I mean, we're gonna see how it's gonna go. I feel like it's gonna be pretty good there. And hello there, was it Lily Mar? What's up? Hey. So yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a fun weekend though. I really think it's gonna be fun. I'm in charge of it tomorrow, kind of. Like, well, I guess me and my wife are actually going to be running it. And then just have some of the families that come in and out every once in a while. So, no, it's going to be fun. With all the confirmed cases in the area, I do feel like I might take precautions. But we are going to be outdoors the whole time, too. So, it's a tough...
I feel like you... Okay, so I'm sorry, I totally didn't mean to just butt in, but I seriously feel like, and I'm sure that this is going around in other places, where you have to have exact change.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a fun game would be like, take an item and you want $2.43 for it, exact change. Just random obscure items. You're like, oh yeah, I've had that for about 7 years, so that item right there is $7.68.
Yeah, that's true.
Exact change.
Yeah, for charge a penny for every day that I've owned it.
Yes.
It's like I've actually owned that item for 1 full year, so that'll be $3.64.4. or the 64 4 cents.
Man, you got to check out the really good bargains that we have over there at the $1.48 table right over there, man. Everything that's at that table is $1.48. It's a steal.
Well, so my wife was asking, "Where's my like?" She's like, "Oh, do you still have your square?" And I'm like, "I think I do." I
Ooh.
was like, "So I have to find it so I can plug it in and probably use that because I didn't even think about that." But yeah, the exact change thing too. Um, Everything is priced within the quarters, you know. So and that's what we
That's the way to
do,
do it, man.
and that's what we do. Lily is very specific pricing, like or or every item is in a row. It's like, okay, the first item is 1 cent, the second item is 2 cents. But if you buy the first item, now the second item, which is now the first item, is now 1 cent. Just with
I I know that for a fact that me and Leah one time went to a garage sale a couple years ago where, seriously, I mean, we bought a couple of things and um, uh, it was a normal like, hey, give me $4 or $5 for this, and then
Mhm,
so get in the car, and Leah was like, man, I feel like there was one other piece there that I really wanted
mhm.
to go pick up, and so we run back over there to go check it out, and man, I mean, all of a sudden, seriously, I feel like this one item was like $5.35. I feel like
Yeah,
it wasn't like a 5.50, it wasn't 5.25,
yeah.
it was like 5.35. Yeah, I was like, oh well, okay, I guess so.
Let me just break out the coin purse and
Right, yeah.
five.
But
But we. It's like, you want this? It's like, sure. It's like, give me $4 or $5. It's like, wait, are you giving me a choice? Because if you're giving me a choice, I'm gonna take.
see, now is it easier just to that's the thing, like I guess, like well, I don't know, I'm thinking way too much into that, thinking way too much into it. I was like,
Yeah,
you know a $5 bill would be easier to grab than having to get into your pocket and count
yeah.
four ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I would almost be like, hey, here's the five,
Yeah.
pay that dollar
Oh,
forward.
there you go. Yeah,
That
that's
what
true.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
whatever left of that changes is like it goes towards the next purchase, so it's not like $1 and 72 cents.
Yeah.
Let's just make that just a flat number.
I kind of want to do now one of these things where it's like, I see you've bought all this stuff or want to buy all this stuff. You can have all that stuff, or you can buy what's in the box.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh
why
yeah,
didn't I
that's
put
great.
together mystery boxes for this? The
we
greatest
Man, we missed out. We missed
garage
out. Wow.
sales with mystery boxes.
Somebody's gonna take this idea
The
and use it,
future.
and it's gonna be great.
Dude, we're full of great ideas. This
Always,
is just
always,
another one of them, you know? With the
always.
collector's single socks, with the oh,
Oh man,
the grilled cheese truck. That's in the, so
that was also very specific on the monetary amounts too. I mean, we
that's
did say
true.
$1 only, and you can't PayPal and you can't Venmo. It's got to be $1, no change given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
man,
man,
told that all these are already ideas. So I mean,
wow.
we're just secondhand genius.
So,
We just see
so
stuff and it's like, yeah, we'll take it.
I do gotta say, we gotta give a shout out to Vince, for everybody that is watching. Our hundreds of people that are on right now. You guys, if you guys are listening to the audio podcast, you guys are totally missing out. But so right now we are on on Vince's Twitch channel. Vince, this is something that you've kind of been working on,
Hmm.
for the last couple of months or so. Um, Give us a rundown of what we can expect, and what actually goes on besides me invading your your Twitch channel.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, it was kind of even thinking about doing the podcast like as a video podcast. I know we had talked about it down the road, and that's kind of where this all started from. Was and actually, I love that idea. Dark bags marked with $2 for all, but you can't open it until you get to the car.
That's great.
You know, so um, but so I was like, let me start setting this up. Well, and as I was setting it up, I was like, I was like, I can still do the game. Or at first, I was like, let me try and write on stream. Like straight up, I was like, let me try and write and see how it goes. I will let you know that is a failure because you cannot interact with chat at the same time that you can write. So you're either focusing on writing and completely ignoring chat, or you're talking with chat and not getting any writing done. So that's when I kind of switched gears a couple of times, and now I've decided on kind of what I'm doing. Where I'd actually been turned on to the game Path of Exile, so I was giving that a try and kind of showing like, okay, this is the first experiences that I'm having with Path of Exile on stream. And so far it's been pretty fun and it's going well, you know. I'm definitely going to kind of continue it until, I don't know, until there's a point where I'm like, you know, I was like, I really can't or don't want to do this. Or something else comes out where it's like, I just have to play, you know. But for now, I feel like Path of Exile is a good game that I can probably go back to also, you know. It is grindy. It's where you can kind of just sit and it's like I don't think it's like the research part of it is kind of intensive, but I don't feel like that's stuff that you have to do on stream. Where like on stream you can just go around, kill stuff, like collect items, like go and sell, and then kind of just do that and talk with everyone while you're doing it. And then also on Fridays, I'm planning on doing like more of a social kind of night. That's on Mondays and Wednesdays are like Path of Exile. On Friday nights, I'm kind of thinking like marbles on stream, which I know we've done that a couple times. There's also a Stream Racers, which is Stream Racers is a car one where you can actually boost. Like if you do like exclamation mark boost, like it'll actually like push your car like, you know, so far. But the thing is you have to time it correctly because you have to do it on straightaways. The drivers in there are so awful, like beyond bad. Like I know me and Micah were on there racing a couple times, and I don't know what my driver was doing, but he came up to this part of the road where he just couldn't figure it out and would start doing donuts. And like I don't even think he finished that race because he did so many donuts until finally he's like, oh wait, I'm getting back on track, and then started going. So stuff like that, or even like board games, or like sometimes maybe Jackbox, you know, like kind of doing some social stuff like that. Just kind of sitting there chatting and playing, you know, just kind of winding down from the week because I know we definitely all need that like time to kind of just decompress.
Absolutely.
So, and I mean, who knows? You might have something going on the weekend, which you're gonna really have to gear up for. So it's like kind of just like, okay, let me just sit and chill and hang out, and then I can go, you know. So, also, I do apologize if I'm getting new followers here. The alerts are actually not set up on this screen, so I'm gonna have to fix that for next time. I totally didn't even think about that. But we will get it here as soon as I can.
So thank you, everybody that is.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are coming to listen, and if you guys are Beyond the Cube podcast listeners, definitely follow Vince on Twitch for sure. He's always got good content, you know, going up. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you know, I'm sure that this is probably going to be like a continuing thing. I sort of feel like so. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback right now, which is amazing. So everybody that's listening right now, we totally appreciate it.
Yeah, and I mean it's fun. I mean, I like when we do the audio podcast only. I know I kind of was like, I would kind of, I mean, as you can kind of see, I'm already fidgeting, you know, like it just kind of going back and forth now. But yeah, it's kind of like you have a little more control over their mic too. So I'm kind of learning that. But also it's kind of cool to actually see your reactions when you know it's happening. And I mean it's easier without being on the Discord too, you know, because I mean Discord you kind of have to like I have to go back and forth from screen to screen just to see if someone said anything in chat and not. This one here is just right up here, right where I can see it, so nice and clean.
It's very nice, very very amazing work as always, Vincent. Never doubted it for a second.
I really try.
So while we're talking about other things, there's another thing. So you guys, I don't know how well this is coming through. Um, but I'm putting this in the microphone or putting this in the video. Check that out.
Yep.
Oh yes, it's okay. So my lovely wife, I've been giving Leah shout outs all night. This it's my Father's Day present. So some of the things I've been doing the past couple of months as well too is just side hustle is getting strong, man. The brand is getting strong,
Mm-hmm.
and with that being said, taking steps to really sort of go a little bit further. Um, as a matter of fact, our good friends, the Ivy Boys. Shout out to the Ivy Boys. Shout out to Chipper. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Joel. Um, I believe they're going to have a very important, big announcement. I mean, tomorrow is Cubs opening day.
Yep.
However, they are going to have a big announcement tomorrow. I do believe that they may request both of us. They may request one of us to possibly
Mm-hmm.
do something or say something about this announcement as well too. Um, so once again, shout out to the Ivy Boys. Make sure you follow them on YouTube. Also check them out at theivyboys.com. Pretty soon, you'll also probably be getting another very important link from the Ivy Boys. So we would like for you to check that out as well too. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've been working on and stuff. And once again, this here. So if you guys see me on video, this used to be my microphone right here. And now I've got the setup where I got the earbuds in, and now I got this sweet mic. So my P's probably are not popping as much as they used to previously. Got the protector over there and stuff, and I'm not even using the arm. I even got like an additional like protector thing as well too. It's back there. I'm not gonna get up and get it, but but yeah, shout out to Leah. Thank you so much for the mic. I know everybody appreciates it.
Yep. No, and I know that that's on the wish list for sometime down the road for myself as well. Right now, just using the headset one, which I mean, this is actually my second headset that I've been using because the first one did break, by my own means, of course. Well, and the headset works fine actually. It's just the connector. Like the connector that I had was it was connected up to the computer when it was on the floor. Well, then as I left, I think it was after a podcast. Was it?
I think it
It
was
was,
actually.
yeah. Like I tripped on the cord for the headset, and then it actually like broke the connector a little. So that was not. Yeah. So then during when I was trying to find another connector, I actually got hooked up with this. Um, so I mean, shout out to Minor Treasures for that. Uh, I mean, I don't know if he actually operates right now, but
He is operating it because
okay,
I have a shout out for Minor Treasures as well too.
yeah.
Um, we went and bought a sound bar the other day. It's 2 weeks ago it was so stinking hot around here, man. It was ridiculous. It was so hot, and so in the living room we had fans on and we had the air blowing and stuff, and like you could barely hear the TV. So I'm like, time to get a sound bar. Gonna get a sound bar for sure. And before I even went to Amazon, I gave old Minor Treasures a shout.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Minor Treasures in the 815. And he was like, yeah, he actually went through, took a couple of pictures of some of the stuff that he had, and I was like, Leah, let's go. We're going right now. And we went down and she found about four pop figures, one of which she kind of forgot to buy previously because she's been doing sort of like the
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones collections and stuff, and she forgot to buy the Children of the Forest. Um, so she went back and found that there. She also picked up Gendry, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, she picked up Gendry, I feel like, and then Luis Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one more. I can't remember what it is. So I'm sure if if Leah's listening, she will definitely let me
Yeah.
know what the missing one was. Um, I did say Gendry already.
Yep.
Um, uh, wait, you bought Ar? She didn't. Well, we bought Arya at.
Yeah. One of the previous ones, I think, was it the first
Yeah,
time. But
that was the first time.
so I share with you the Funkoverse Game of Thrones, like the four
Yes.
pack. So I'm kind of annoyed about that. Actually, a lot of people are annoyed with Funko right now. Uh, I guess their San Diego Comic Con sale did not go as planned. What had happened was they like a bunch of people had actually like put a bunch of like items in their cart and went to go check out, and I guess checkout took like some people like up to 40 minutes to complete, like to
Ooh.
calculate shipping. So when it was calculating shipping for that 40 minutes, the items were actually sold out. So now when the shipping was calculated, it now said these this many items in your cart are no longer available. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are not happy. Me, I'm
Mm.
not happy because at the beginning of the year they had announced that there was 4 sets for Funkoverse that were going to be coming out, and just dropped the bombshell of the fifth one that they didn't say anything about, and it was Game of Thrones, and it actually comes with different rules for the game too. So, I mean that's kind of cool, but I'm still hating. So I'm still gonna get it, but I'm still hating. So, see, yeah, I didn't even wear my Funko hat today, man. I was like, nope. I was like, I can't do it. Can't, no.
Ah, man, just proof again that 2020 just is complete garbage. Total, just shit show. Honestly, it's just absolutely just.
Yeah.
But dude, so well, okay, so one of the good things though, so far over the past couple of months, me personally, and once again, I dropped the ball and I didn't listen to any of the previous podcast. Usually I do. I don't recall if we talked about the Last Dance at all. I feel like we might have talked about maybe 3 or 4, and
Ooh,
I think 1 and 2 actually had come on
Yep.
before then too, and we didn't discuss it. But
Mm.
um, you know, Last Dance is over. It's on Netflix, and I, you know, one of the great things about the Last Dance for me was personally was just the build up and the anticipation
Mm-hmm.
for Sunday nights, and I did see that Big Brother is coming back. Yay,
Yep.
um, but just kind of like how you said though, dude, like there's been so much that's happened the past couple of months that TV really hasn't been a thing for me. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it really hasn't. And I mean, I feel like I never really was a that much of a TV watcher really. Anyways, I mean, I
Yeah.
had a couple of shows that I watched, and in the summer, one of my summer shows is Big Brother, which thanks to 2020 and thanks COVID,
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother got pushed back till August, I think, and it didn't come out in June like how it typically does. Um, but I mean, it is what it is, and
That
and
that would have actually. I mean, that show actually would have made a lot of sense right now
right. I
because
mean, I'm
it's like what
saying,
a few people stuck in a house. You know, you basically just get them tested. Honest, like really, you could just find like any random 6 people that decided to live together. Be like, hey, can we just install cameras in your house and just see how you act for the next? I mean, I don't know. Like it, I really wouldn't see too many people going in and out, like with like camera people or like producers and such. Like I mean, because I feel like a project like that, you're kind of married to the project, and it's like you're not really seeing anyone else. Like you're in this bubble.
right.
So I mean, it kind of funny how it's like everyone is living out Big Brother now, like just without the cameras. Where it's like, hey, guess where you're stuck for the next few months. It's like get used to the people you're living with. But
So I think this was something that was mentioned, kind of about COVID and the stay-at-home order.
mhm.
So one of my conspiracy theories that I sort of was looking into for a while was that they were taking away all the robot pigeons
Yeah.
and they were upgrading the cameras and the mics so that way, the government could spy on us and see what was happening and what was going on.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, we everybody sort of has their own like kind of private Big Brother stuff already. What we
It's
we had
that
this funny
5G,
joke.
man. It's that
Yeah.
5G. Or the what was it? Oh, the I know I've seen the meme where it's like, what was it back in the 70s? It's like was it people like were worried about the government spying on them, but then it shows a picture of like 2019, 2020. It's like, hey Alexa, it's like, and then asking questions.
Right,
Like,
right, man. But yeah. Once again, in case you guys didn't know, Last Dance is over, and it's on Netflix. is
yep.
what is ultimately what I wanted to say. Last Dance was so great, just so much nostalgia from when the Bulls were decent. You
Mm,
know, I just man, like I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like I said, I'm there's a lot of stuff I'm over. You
yeah.
know,
Well,
those,
okay, so there's a couple things that Meredith has actually started, and that I'm also interested in as well. One is the Undertaker documentary. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it's on like the WWE network, and it I think it covers like his last, like, was it like last five like WrestleManias or something like that. Like, kind of just talking about like the whole, like, is he gonna retire, is he not, kind of thing. And I mean, I'm gonna have to I'll have to get back to you on that, because I think it was called The Last Ride, and we have only seen the first episode of it. And then she has also started watching The Boys on Amazon Prime, and that one was about, was it the superheroes, like how like superheroes might actually be like in real life if they existed, where it's like they're not pure good, kind of thing. So I mean, both of those, like, we've kind of checked those out too, and I mean, I honestly enjoyed both of them, like, from what I've seen. So no, I mean, those, you know what, we'll have to try and catch up on those, like do one a night, and kind of go from there. But we did watch The Lovebirds, which I don't know if you saw that one. God, and what sucks is it's like I hate it because I can't, like, I always kind of forget what his name is. You know.
see, I know what you mean because like I know who you're talking about,
Yeah, because he was
and
in
I don't
Stuber
want
also,
to.
and I'm.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, I'm awful with names already,
Yes. Right.
and second off, it's like, so I mean, again, it's like, but it was actually, it's kind of funny because it's like in the beginning, we were watching it and it was kind of thinking that it's like, oh, it's like, it looks super campy, super like a, like the rom com kind of, like, whatever. But then by the end of it, I was like, you know what? I was like, I actually enjoyed this movie. Like, the beginning part was a little awkward and weird, but then it's like kind of like pulled it together and like made it into like an actual like feel good kind of thing. Like, at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like I wasted time watching this. So, you know,
We kind of checked that out and we didn't watch it. I
mm-hmm.
just wasn't. I couldn't pull the string on it honestly, and I think Leah really wanted to watch it. But now uh, we were given information. We were told to watch Palm Springs on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
which that's got Andy Samberg in, and honestly, really nobody else. At least no other big actors or actresses that I could think of.
Yeah.
And so I think Leah like wasn't feeling. I mean, she just didn't really wasn't feeling Palm Springs at all. Which I don't know if you know about this or not, and I'm gonna give you just a really quick rundown about it. It's basically like an updated Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
Really is what it is. And so you have two characters that are reliving the same day, and one of them happens to, the day is just an absolutely terrible day,
Yeah.
and so they sort of go through it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, oh yeah, I do remember how it ended. I had to think about it, because it's sort of, it's not that it was abrupt,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like it. The scary thing for me is that I thought about it for a second and I was like, bro, like if there was like a Groundhog's Day scenario,
Mm-hmm.
and if you had to go and do what they did in order to get out of the Groundhog Day scenario,
Mm-hmm.
some people would think you were absolutely
Hmm.
crazy. Honestly,
Well,
like it was pretty extreme what they had to do in order to get out of this continuous loop.
so also that kind of makes me think of what was that Happy Death Day, I think it was,
Yeah.
where and they made a second one, also. That's another one where I'm like really, I'm like, how did you make a second one like this? I just with the premise of it's like, oh, it's like you have to live out this day, like over and over again, kind of thing. I was like, first of all, like, and I'm gonna let you know, I did not watch it. I don't really do horror movies. I did completely read the spoiler on the first one and the second one to see, and it sounds as ridiculous as you would think. Like, I kind of wish I was into campy horror movies, but I am definitely not. And also, it looks like they're having a discussion about Sting
I
in
was
the
gonna
chat. I
say
don't know if you've seen this or not.
wrestling is blowing up the GC right now.
Yeah, it is.
Sting is definitely has a really soft spot, in a lot of people's hearts. It definitely appears like so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my favorite, for what it's worth, my favorite wrestler, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I as a kid, I was Hulk Hogan, Junkyard Dog,
Mm-hmm.
Macho Man Randy Savage,
Yep.
Jimmy Superfly Slicker, all that. Stone Cold, hands down,
Mm-hmm.
like in 2000 was the shit. he was so awesome. He man, I mean, I remember. So basically, I started watching Raw in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm not going to watch Raw, but I got just it was just a thing where all of us sat around and drank beer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole premise of Monday night, which, I mean, I guess really it wouldn't be any different from any other night of the week, because it's one of those weird things that when I think about it, I always had money for beer,
Mm-hmm.
and there'd be times where maybe I didn't eat a meal or so, but
Mm-hmm.
I drank that night. So, anyways,
Oh, and Deftones tickets.
and
Deftones.
that's
Yeah.
right,
So.
that's right. That's tickets. But yeah, no. I actually went to BMO, which
Mhm.
I can't remember what it was called back then though. But I went for a SmackDown taping,
Yeah.
and so so Raw is always live, and SmackDown, if they don't get it right, they actually will stop and retape, and they'll
Mhm.
redo things. Um, so what ended up happening was that we were sitting in the stands, and you would see on the big screen that, like, they're showing what's happening behind stage and stuff,
Yeah.
and like Stone Cold wasn't supposed to be there because it was like where he was just Raw only, I believe,
Mhm.
and I can't remember who he had, who he was beefing with, who he was fighting with. I don't recall, but I do know that
Mm.
he drove an F-150 down the ramp
Mhm.
and came in and Stone Cold stunned like three people,
Yeah.
and then he got up on the top rope, did his thing, and
Yeah.
then people are throwing. He had somebody throwing beer cans up on him, and he caught one, and it was the coolest thing ever. That was so freaking cool, man. You hear the broken glass, like, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's about to get real, man. Somebody's about to get stunned.
We.
And also, I really think about it too, and I feel like the Stone Cold Stunner is probably the coolest signature move. I
Mhm.
really, really like it. The kick, he bends over,
Yeah.
grabs you, stuns you. It's done. It's done.
There's someone else who has adopted that move too. Recently, yeah. Kevin Owens. He's one of the like newer wrestlers, So man, and for me, like, okay, so I'm gonna let you know that to me wrestling was the same thing as sports, where I really didn't have like a dog that was in the race, you know. Like I remember Snuka though, you know. Like I remember those days with man, you know what, I'd probably say a promotion. Like probably my favorite promotion was ECW, but that's because when I was watching it, it was something where it felt it felt almost like taboo to watch it because it was on public access and they had only rented an hour like of the public access. So what they did is they had to show their like weekly show was actually like it was like broken up into 3 weeks. So it's like you'd watch this week, and this was the beginning, the first hour of the show, and the next week you would actually catch the second hour, and then the following you catch the third. And I mean those, man, like that was back with was it Rob Van Dam, like RVD back in his prime.
There it is.
That was probably the one that I could watch, but that's also because his opponents like elevated him so like, and he elevated his opponents so well too. Like they did such a great job in ECW with him. And then when they kind of turned him over to WWE or signed on there, like I just felt like, I don't know, the talent didn't do the same thing. It's like he could still feed off of them, but it's like it was almost like his opponents didn't receive off of him as far as from what I was watching.
Right.
But yeah. So okay, but for Sting, okay, bleach blonde or dark and moody.
See, I'm going more emo. I'm going dark and moody, honestly.
So I'm actually going the opposite direction, which is exactly. So I'm in line with Leah here. You're completely in line with Meredith.
Although I did forget that one of the awesome fashion statements of Stone Cold was the jean shorts also too.
Yes, yeah, that's
awesome.
true.
He wrestled in gym shorts or jean shorts. He wrestled in jean shorts.
Yeah. No, for sure. Man, it is about that time though, man.
So it's funny because we we were like, we're gonna keep this short, and literally like this has gone by so fast.
Yes.
I kind of, to be honest, I wasn't really too sure how this was gonna go. Not necessarily talking. I'm gonna be selfish for a minute. And not necessarily talking about like how our kind of how our back and forth, how we're doing the video for the first time and stuff, from doing a podcast that we haven't done in 2 months. I just yeah, we've been going through a lot, and so this, Vince, I appreciate you doing this and kind of bringing some normalcy back into my life and kind of getting things sort of, picking up the pieces, man, and it's a lot of fun to be able to really interact with the GC and stuff and seeing what they're saying and what getting the feedback on that, and all of this has been great. So I hope we can do this again soon. This seems to work out pretty good. Vince, it's kind of about time to do some closing. You got any shout outs that you want to give?
Man, I guess just I'm gonna give a pre shout out to the to the garage sale down the street, hoping that they're gonna be sending some traffic our way as well. That way, kind of just go back and forth there. I assume that's the way it's gonna be. We'll see. Otherwise, shout out to everyone who follows, everyone who hangs out. Thank you guys for making this Twitch stream fun. Like, thank you for making it what it is currently and what it will be in the future. So I'm really looking forward to that. And thank you, Bob, for coming back, man, for being able to pull this off. I'm definitely enjoying we've been officially beyond the cube for months now. So
right.
So I mean, might as well just stick with it, right? So but how about yourself, Bob?
I too will give a shout out to the 12 family rubber sale or garage sale that's going out there in the 815 out towards Thome Road, out just a little bit past the airport. Just remember, you guys, you attract you get more bees with more honey that you have. Or wait, more honey. No, wait, bees if you have a lot of bees, you're gonna produce a lot of honey. So basically, what I'm saying is don't be greedy. Your family of 12. You share the wealth. You share the honey. It goes back and forth, just 3 blocks down. Come on. Um, no.
No, wait, it's got to be your bowl, and then
Wait, hold on. What were we talking about? What? Yeah. Anyways. So no. Yeah. Just. There's so many people that I would love to give shout outs to. I sort of. I think I'm not going to, honestly, because
yeah,
I don't want to offend anybody for missing out in giving shout outs. But I definitely will continue to give shout outs always to Juicebox Mafia, Manny Fresh. If you're here on Twitch right now, you might as well go ahead and search Juicebox Fresh, and that's fresh without an E. That's our boy Manny. Killing it. So the one thing that he's been doing also too is he's been taking Adobe classes, dude. He's doing Premiere editing, and he's actually doing some video and audio stuff. I seen him post a few things today on Facebook. So that's awesome, dude. He's kind of taken, and he's also got a merch line as well too. So man, check him out, dude, for real. Twitch TV, Juicebox Fresh. That's fresh without an E. That's our dude Manny, aka Bling Bling Slim. Check him out. I also want to give a shout out to Pulled Corks, our friend over there at Pulled Corks, Butch. Appreciate all the love, Butch. Also appreciate the referral that you sent my way as well too. So hopefully that can we can sort of get that done and wrapped up and everything. That would be awesome. Shout out to Josiah of Selling Houses. Hey, so something that we haven't talked about in the segment that we used to kind of do was, what are you Spotifying? I believe it was not this past Friday, but the Friday before. He had a new single that came out that is amazing. I think maybe some people may think that I'm a little bit biased just because Josiah's got amazing blonde hair and it flows wonderfully, and he's got that scruff and he's got that little frame, but come to find out that he was an iron worker and that he molded iron with his baby fist or whatever he has. Like I said, I think Leah sometimes thinks that maybe I'm a little bit biased, but this new song that he had come out on Spotify is just awesome. It's so awesome that I can't recall what it's called, but I'm looking it up right now. But yeah, so Josiah from Selling Houses, check Selling Houses out on Spotify. New stuff that he's been coming out with. He's been releasing a track about almost every week or so. Didn't put one out last week, and I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but man, that new that he's got is definitely worth checking out. So head over to Spotify and keep that out. Simon, I reached out to Simon to got a project that I'm working on. I have sent some proofs out. You've seen some of the proofs of what I'm talking about. But I actually reached out to Simon to do some artwork. So he's gonna come up with a concept, and I know he's gonna knock it out of the park. Y'all check out our dude Simon Sosa on Instagram at 20+2. While you're there, you might as well also follow Jade as well. She is Jade Cook, but she spells her name not like COOK. It's KOCH. When you look her up on Instagram, it's not an O though, it's a 0. So just remember all that. Or you could just go to her blog at forevwild.com as well too. A couple of Zachs. Actually, there's 3 Zachs. Zach Knutson, Zach Spangler, and Zach Arbogast. Knutson, shout out to y'all for everything for everything, and I hear that they might have to. No, I can't say that. No. But Zach Spangler though, he brought out his drone. He's actually gonna really try to get into like shooting photography with his drone, but like the camera that he's got on his drone is ridiculous. I know that he's got some news where he was in the city. He was our contact that we had in Chicago, but because of the COVID and family and things happen, he's kind of getting out of the city again. So it's kind of cool to have him close back in the area. While he's gone back to Chicago, he's been taking some really great shots. I can't remember if I said that or not, but check out zspang.com. Lots of really great photography and stuff there. The last Zach, you know, just because we're talking in order. Arbogast, you hear us talk about Zach Arbogast quite a bit. Voiceover guy for KSB here at the 815. Does all sorts of really great stuff, man. So shout out to Zach Arbogast as well too. Shout out to everybody that, like I said, once again, that has, you know, sent us messages and sending positive thoughts and vibes and everything. I mean, that's always appreciative, especially with all the shit that's going on right now. Honestly, I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, truthfully, but and shout out to the new subscribers, man. I mean, thank you for coming to Vince's Twitch and like I said, man, it's awesome that we picked up, or that she was able to pick up some subscribers tonight, man.
Yep, and thank you, of course, to the wives too. I know that they're they're itching for that too. But let's see. You can find us at beyondthecubepodcast.com. You can email us at beyondthecubepodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at beyondthecube1, and the Facebook link is facebook.com/beyondthecubepodcast. So, Bob, where can they find us individually?
Yeah. So you're here right now on Vince's Twitter page. So definitely subscribe, and you'll get the notifications whenever he goes live. One of the cool things too is that if we do decide to do the live video podcast on this, you will get a notification to say, "Hey, Beyond the Cube is live at Night Rider Vince." So make sure you subscribe this. Once again, that's Twitch TV /Night Rider Vincent. As well as you can find Vincent at vincenthennings.com. The website, it has been backed up multiple times, and possibly looking at maybe getting an SSL.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? You can find me at bobdoeswork.com. There's been a little bit of work done to bobdoeswork.com.
Yeah.
You may see a little lock notification there at the URL. SSL is what that is. And it has been backed up as well too. So been backed up multiple times in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
You could also find some of the stuff that I'm doing when I am on social media. It does seem to be going more towards Bob Does Work on Facebook. You can find me, so that is facebook.com/Bob Does Work. It's amazing how all that happened. Bob Does Work. Keeping the brand consistent, keeping the brand strong is what that is. So, and once again, you know, the podcast stuff. You can find us at beyondthecubepodcast.com. Also on facebook.com/beyondthecubepodcast. I believe you probably said that. But just once again, reinforcing the brand, because look at, we're gonna try to, I'm gonna try to post more content and stuff on the Facebook page. Another hiatus that kind of came out of nowhere, you know. I don't like them, you know. I think Vincent doesn't like them.
No. No, this is too much fun. Like, we're definitely gonna have to do this. I mean, we definitely have to try and stay more consistent with this. We'll get it though. We'll get there.
But yeah, man, no. This the video podcast definitely kind of brought a different element to this. I am very excited about this, and you know, the next big step for us is you know, we need to do the whole getting it together and then getting that soundboard.
Yep, we do. Because
over the top. Once we get the soundboard, it's over with.
Yep. I mean, because now all I gotta do is just drop that last line, and then we're good to go.
Do the drop.
Okay, ready. What a time to be alive. I'm not kidding. It's the best in 815.